All right, good morning, good morning. Well, a lot of you, first off, welcome back to Junk to Gems. A lot of you have been wondering how we are going to heat the barn. And as you can see, I've got all my really cool protective equipment today. Which isn't really cool at all, but I gotta wear it because what we're gonna be doing today is gonna require that. So what we're doing is, like I said, a lot of you have been wondering how we're going to heat the barn. So today we are going to build a barrel wood stove. We have the stuff here that you can buy on Amazon, and I will put the link down there for the kit that comes, so you can buy this and build this yourself. So we're going to show you today how to make that happen. We've got a barrel over here, so we're going to show you the barrel. I'm going to show you a little bit about the kit. And we're going to show you how to build one of these. So the kit comes with this. This is your door right here. As you can see, it's got the insulation around it, the whole 9 yards. We've got us a standard 55-gallon drum. Got us a grinder right here, and you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. The kit does come with the legs, comes with the top back here, so you can put. So here's the top. As you can see, it is conformed for the barrel. So it basically just sits on the barrel like so, and then you just bolt it down. Okay. I will get some high temp sealant for this, just to make sure that it fits nice and snug. But I think we'll be okay with it. Because the pipe, it does kind of slide down inside there and keeps pretty snug. So we'll, like I said, we'll get some high temp sealant for that. And then we're going to show you how to make it happen. So we're going to put you on a time lapse and let you see what I'm doing. All right, so what I've done is I've set this on here, and I've marked out my hole. As you can see here, my hole. And some of these barrels, these drums you get, they're going to have a plastic cap and not a metal cap. The metal cap is easy to get. They're like $4 on Amazon, so we'll be getting one of those. This one over here on this side has got a little breather cap, and I will be welding it closed, or I will just get a regular cap and a metal cap and put on it. Like I said, it's really nothing there. Oh, it's got a metal cap in it. Okay, so problem solved. But this one here just happens to have a metal cap in it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my hole. And then I'm going to get this set on there and make sure it fits. And then we're going to set the legs on there, and then we'll cut our other hole for it. So let's go to town with that. All right, in this particular case with this barrel, we are going to go ahead and build the wood stove. We're going to put all of our parts on here, and then we're going to start a fire in this one, and we're going to let it burn for about 24 to 48 hours. We're going to build a good fire, let it sit out here and just burn real good. This will burn all the paint off of here, because this paint is definitely not heat tolerable. So we're going to make sure it burns all the paint off of there, burns any chemicals out of the inside that might still be in there, which it doesn't look like there's really anything in here left. But we're still going to do that just to make sure, because we don't want them chemicals, any of that smoke escaping into the house for any reason. Once it burns all the paint off, then we'll go ahead and spray it down with some high temp paint, make it all nice and pretty. And then we'll go from there. So next I'm going to be putting the legs on. So I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a second. So now you've seen the holes in the top here. So we're going to select the appropriate bit, which you know, I'm not sure if they're all. I'm sure they're pretty much all pretty standard, depending on what kit you get. But you just set it down in the hole like this. Pretty self-explanatory on this part. I have to get a new battery already. Yep. He said no more bullets. So now we're gonna do an age test. You ready for this one? Where did that saying come from? No more bullets. See if you can guess. Leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get to them and see if anybody got it right. But I'm quite sure there's quite a few of you are gonna get that one right, especially if you're close to my age. DeWalt, don't fail me now. You're gonna fail me though, ain't you? Yep. I guess I didn't have the other battery plugged in. It was just in the case, didn't think much about it. So, time to go get the really cool tools. Now that's so much better. Much easier to do it with the power drill than, I mean, probably if the battery was all charged up, it'd probably work just fine. But, you know, my little impact drill just doesn't cut it with that. It doesn't have it's got a 1/4 inch drive bit, so it doesn't work that well. All right. So, here's one for you. Does anybody know what the worst thing about having kids is? It's when they watch one of them funny movies, you know, them kids movies, and that song gets stuck in your head all day. Da, dun, da, 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 dun. Tell me if you know that one. A dabba-doo time. You know, we can't I can't sing the song, or I might get copyrighted, so. Da, dun, da, da, dun. Alright, so I guess that'll go on last. We'll get that later. Gotta figure out all the nuts, bolts, and washers here. So, I'm just going to assume that it's really not, we're going to check them all out, but looks like pretty much all the bolts are the same. I would assume there'd be a washer on the outside as well as the inside, because it looks like there's a ton of them here. So we're going to check that just to make sure. We'll set everything up here. Gives us a little fancy Allen wrench. Oh yeah. And it looks like pretty much every nut is the same. Every bolt and nut's the same. And by the time we get done putting our heat paint on it, says we got some of that high temp paint. You'll never see all these. I mean, you'll see them, but you know, they won't stand out like this, as far as like all the nuts and bolts and stuff. But we just want to make sure that we've got enough to do it all, which it's looking like it. Alright, so that's one set. And we know we need 8 for the legs. So how many of those we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. So we got our 8 for the legs. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more for the top part. So yep, so it does get a washer on both sides. Note to self and to you, washer on both sides. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know y'all are saying, yay, he can count. 3, 5, 7, 10. 2 more is 12. Oop. Okay, so for your little vent holes on the bottom, what I did is I set the thing in place, and then I drilled out my holes, and then I just put the cover on top of there, the slide bar on top, and on this side here I took it right to the edge of the hole, and this way you just cut the whole thing out, and this leaves you like a nice little hole there, so you can set this all together. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about for this. These are your breather holes down here at the bottom, and you know, this bar slides in here like that. So when closed, that blocks off all the airflow. Open it up as you need airflow, and as you can see, that's not much to that. And the hole's right on the edge, so I just cut the whole bar out. Sits in there perfect. This allows this thing to breathe good. Okay, and as you know, y'all, this is the fun part. Really not too bad. And you gotta, it's like you got a big open door here to make it happen pretty easy, so it's really not bad at all. And I'm just going to get them all started for right this second, and then I'll put the impact on them here in a minute. Snug them down real good. We won't bore you with all that little part. Like I said, I'll just get them all good and started here. Well, and our next step after I set this in here and get these snug down a little bit, we're going to put our legs on. And we'll probably do that from the sawhorses to make it a little bit easier so you can see it better as well. And save my back a whole bunch of hassle. He said, my back I no like it a headache. And yes, this barrel was a, this barrel did have flammable chemicals in it, but to make sure that it was good, I have let it set in the sun for the last couple of months, and that basically takes all the, that helps take all the stuff out of it. If you're working with a flammable barrel, use some precaution, you know, let it air out real good, vent it or whatever. Just be safe with them. They're not unsafe to build these out of. Like I said, just make sure the chemicals, you know, either watered down or whatever like that. That's just usually safe practice. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and fill them with water before you cut on them with the grinder. In this case here, I did have some water already down in it from you know, from us letting it set for so long. So like I said, just take some precaution when doing that. I'd hate to see anybody get hurt or blown up, you know. You can get these barrels pretty much anywhere. Try to get one that's more food grade, you know, if possible, or if not even food grade, it's something that's a non-flammable chemical in them. Like this one here had some kind of resin in it, and you can still see some of it stuck down the bottom, but it's all hardened up and everything now, so there was no fumes in it whatsoever. And that's mainly what you got to worry about when cutting on these, if they've got fumes in them. Like I said, this one has been setting out with the one cap out of it, so I wasn't worried about cutting it because it did have all the fumes pretty much out of it. If it was gonna blow, it would have done that in the sun out there a long time ago. So we're just gonna snug a few of these down real quick just to make this good and tight so it ain't flopping around on me. Make them just like a Germans, good and tight. A couple of them had a couple little burrs on them, so I wasn't able to get them past there. Wasn't able to get them on very far. When you're Alright, so we got a little magnetic torpedo level, so what we're going to do is, you know, being a barrel likes to roll, we're just going to close the door up here and we're going to roll this around until we get this thing level. And being that we're on some wood chips here, we're going to get it level and we're going to pile up some wood chips underneath here. Okay, so now we see we got that door level. Now we can come up here to the legs and we'll set them level. Just like that. And then we'll drill our hole. So now we're going to drill us 4 holes right here. And hopefully we don't throw my level off. Nope. You're gonna have to go with a smaller bit for these. Alright, so we used a 1/4 inch bit on the first part, which is the door here. These holes are a tad bit smaller, so we're gonna go with the, with a 5/16 bit on these holes, and then we're gonna do with a 1/4 inch bit on these holes. So let's check our level again here. I may end up having to put something underneath there. You know, and it can be a tiny bit off. It's not really gonna make a huge difference.
Should you go ahead and just put the screws and stuff in there first?
Yeah.
On that side?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Go ahead and set them in there.
Okay.
Now your lips move, boy, I can't hear what you say. Alright, so what we're doing is we're going ahead and bolting up the first leg real quick, and this way it doesn't move on me. You know, when you're trying to drill something in a circle, on a circle, you know how that goes. Drill wants to slide all over and start acting a fool.
cracked? Oh.
Note to self. Note to you. When putting these legs on, make sure you give yourself enough room for the washer to clear the lip. I did on this one, but just barely. So we're gonna have to kind of flex it.
Use the upper half.
Close, Sesame. You know how many people I've argued with over the years about that. Open sesame. And you know the hardest part here is going to be getting the bolts on the inside. Yeah, now the fun part. How do you get all the way in there to put these on? Okay, and I might need somebody to
Hold it.
hold it. Yep, now I just got in here a minute ago getting the wrench.
Are you gonna be able to do it? Which
Yep,
way?
hold
Okay.
the bolt for me on the outside.
Which on the right or left?
It don't matter, just hold one.
Okay. Oh, what? I see what you're doing. I gotcha. So that's this.
Okay, we got the legs on. They're not tightened down yet, so we're gonna roll it over and let it set where it's supposed to be, and then we can cut the hole for the vent stack. So let's get to that part, the fun part. Riley, come here, hon. Look at them. Look at there.
Use the hat.
Oh, look. It's already found a hat out of the deal. Show 'em. It makes her look like she got a top hat on,
One
but
second,
she's
let me
missing
feel.
the top part of the hat.
One second.
Get it? Top
go that
hat,
way.
missing the top part of the hat. Ha ha. Sweetness. Oh. Okay, so now that we've got the barrel, she's sitting pretty level here. A latch for our door. So it looks like we're gonna have to tighten down these bolts too as well. And we'll do all that when we get there. right now we're just mainly worried about getting this thing set up so we can start a fire in it and burn some of this paint off and the chemicals out of it and what have you like that. So that's what we're working on. So now when it comes to the back, you don't want it too far back, but usually right centered right between the two ribs here, between the bottom and the top rib. And this allows your airflow really good. And so we're going to be sitting right about there, I think. Now we just need our handy dandy marker. Let's see. Oh, he was a smart guy. He know use a black marker on black tank. And I think this is going to be good. But we're going to go ahead and put our little torpedo level on her here, just to be safe that it is. Oh, look at that. Man, look at that, y'all. That was just eyeballing it too. Not too bad for eyeballing. So that's actually perfect right there, and I'm still with right there in my lines. Oop. Yeah, hair out of my line, but no, it still stayed in there. All right. So now I'm going to cut the hole for that, for the vent stack, and go ahead and drill the holes and get it all put together and put you on a time lapse for that part. And so you don't have to hear all that noise, because that's some ungodly noise, okay? So I'll bring you back here in just a short. All right, so you remember in the a few minutes ago, I had to crawl inside there to put the bolts on the legs. So future reference for those of you, something I just learned is that you got to cut this hole in here anyway. And guess what? You can reach right down through the hole now and get to them. So I would advise cutting both the holes. Set the legs up there, find a way to brace it off. And so you can set it on the legs. I mean, for some of you got a nice concrete slab, and you know, you can set this thing up off the ground and all that kind of stuff, and easier to set everything level and your legs will stand there. You know, our legs won't stand here because we're on dirt. But not saying it can't happen. So I'm going to set these two bolts real quick and two nuts, and we're going to get our pipe out, and we're going to see how everything kind of sits here. Might have to water that hole out just a hair. Yep. Let me just. She's got a little burr on her, so she's not wanting to go in there just right. Just like that. Now my hole is not exactly perfect, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt this down, then I'm going to get a grinding wheel, and I'm going to stick the grinding wheel on there, and we're going to make the hole nice and sweet so it doesn't have any burrs on it. that's all it is. I just got a few little burrs on the inside here that I'm going to go ahead and take them off with the grinding wheel. As soon as I figure out what I did with it. You know how that goes. So I usually have a whole box of them at a time, but I'm down to one left. So I'm going to have to just find it until I can order some more. And basically they're flat disc grinding disc, you know, they're super easy to get and super cheap. So now that we've got that part set up, I think I'm going to go ahead and set us up a stack here and tighten. I'm going to tighten these bolts down the bottom first, and then we're going to set us up a stack, and we're going to go to town with that and get you a fire going. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Alright, well, I think it's time to get a couple pieces of pipe and see how it sits together. Be right back. So this one came with a Flue. I'm going to show you that real quick here. And so we're going to screw this one in real quick. Now this one is just I think this one just activates by heat, so it doesn't really, because there's no lock to it or whatever like that to make it go one way or the other. To where, like the other one there, it's got all that. We're just gonna stick, like I said, just gonna stick a couple pieces of pipe on it. And this pipe is, you know, if you've ever dealt with this kind of pipe before, the trick is to get the one side there. This way, this time they had it on the inside. But get this lip right here, and then just kind of push it down like that. Push it down in the center, and it will just pop together most times. Just like that. And it'll just pop together like that. And then you just kind of squeeze it a little bit and round her back out. Hardest part is getting her started down here. So I think we're going to be taking this one out. Otherwise the pipe is not going to fit in there sweet. And we have an extra damper on it already. There we go. And then you just wiggle her around until she goes down in there sweet. A lot of times you can just take a piece of wood and stick on top of it and tap it down in there tight. And then we've got our external flue right here. It'll fit right over top of that. And the hardest part about dealing with this pipe is it is tight. So I'm not even going to worry about that right now because I just got to squeeze that, and I'll just take a strap and put that on there later so I can get it on there. But it does fit it. You can see it does fit it pretty well. I just got this strap on this side to put it on there. So like I said, I'm worried about that later. And Mary's got to go get us some tires. Somebody is so awesome out there, y'all just don't even know. FedEx showed up today with 4 tires for our car. So she's taking the car down because this one here now keeps going flat too. We already got the other one on the other side, as you've seen, is already flat. So Mary's gonna run up there real quick, get us some tires, and I'm gonna play with this just for a few more minutes. But I'll bring you along when I start the fire here in just a minute. All right, but until then, we'll see you in just a few minutes. We got a bunch of little tiny sticks sitting out here from the mulcher that we can get in there. Some old Chip doing her job. We can just keep stuffing them in there. Looks like we got a little fire kicking in already. And here's some of my water in there boiling off now. You can already see some of the paint already starting to do its job. Okay, it's been kicking for about 30 minutes here, so it's putting out some serious heat here. Now that I've opened the doors, you see the flame really kicking good in there. So I'm gonna leave the doors open for a little while and just keep feeding it. And let it get good and hot in there. And we'll see how it goes from there. But you know, this way, these little holes down here, so these are, you can vent it with, or you can keep the door open like that. We've definitely got to get some bricks, some fire bricks and stuff like that, so we can set it up off the ground a little bit, because we would like it about, you know, about as high as it is right now. So we would like the bottom of it about right there somewhere. So that way, you know, we don't have to worry about catching the rugs and stuff like that on fire. We still got to get some fireproof backing for the back of it, so when it's up against the wall, you know, it doesn't heat the wall up too much. And but you know, at least the stove is now built. And here soon, as soon as I get that that wall right there where the barn door is, I got to take that door off and take that down and build a barn door, build a wall right there, and then the stove is going to be right behind that wall right there. So that's the plan. But as you can see, the paint is now cooking real good, so I'm just going to keep feeding it for the next few hours and get all this paint burn off of here, and then we'll pressure wash it, and then you know, we'll paint her up with that heat paint, and that way it'll all look pretty. So you know, as pretty as a wood stove can be, but at least now you got a barrel stove. This is the whole kit's about $100 on Amazon. Go ahead and get you one. If you need a good wood stove for your cabin or whatever like that, this is a cheap way to go, because I've been looking at some of them wood stoves out there, and some of them are high dollar. Even the little tiny ones are high dollar. And $100 and you got it going on. Find a $20 barrel somewhere, you know, $120, you got a wood stove going on. So anyway, until next time, y'all, we got to cut this short so Mary can get the video out today, because we didn't get one out yesterday. We were just both of us were a little bit sore, and you know, just tired and just needed a break. So Mary just got back with the new tires on the car, or at least 2 of them anyway, because that's all they could do today, and all we could afford today. So you know how it is. But we at least got 2 new tires on the back, so we'll be kicking good for a while there. But anyway, until next time, y'all, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and remember this: we are living proof that dreams can come true if you just put your mind to it and make it happen. Okay, until next time, bye guys.